then to my understanding, people who finish the bachelor's degree are normally told to like schedule windows, schedule doors, do minor work like that. Is that true?
It can be true depending where you work. Depend the kind of structure in that office that you choose to work on. If it's a big company, maybe, and they have, I don't know, they don't have a lot of work, maybe, I mean, you know, obviously the seniors would be working on the major stuff, and then obviously you'd be the guy to help around between different teams, working on different projects, sort of like,
Like to my understanding, a lot of people who get the degrees don't necessarily get thrown into the design project. So you stated that you were just modeling, but do you have like any sort of input or role in the design?
No. And with everyone that I graduated with my year, they were doing, I saw on the questions, you said something about scheduling. That is very true. Because somebody said I was scheduling doors and windows for like the whole year. So they came and did their honors and masters, but for that 1 year out after your degree, that's what they were doing, scheduling doors and windows. So it's very true. You won't really be included in the design aspect of things a lot. But
did you like sometimes show up at the meetings to see what's going on? Or?
Not the meetings with the client, no. So there's someone that does that on behalf of the whole team. And they would then give us feedback on what needs to change or where they're going in terms of the design. But yeah, I wasn't really included in that.
No, I can say this design process is actually given to your design architect or your principal architect. Those are the head architects. You see, I was not involved, but I was not entirely excluded from it. When I arrived there, they wanted me to do some renderings, and I can say maybe I've done it well because I've seen those renderings on their websites. And after that, they actually boarded me on this other project, whereby I needed to detail it. It was a continuous project whereby you get a feedback, change something back and forth. So I can say with me it was different. I didn't get to just focus on schedules and those small things.
I feel like I worked on mostly everything. I did some of those stuff because the structure of the company that I worked for, Sayota, like I said. But when I worked at Sayota, the thing is they have a large volume of projects, so they're always working on many projects at a time. So I wouldn't necessarily just be working on schedules and stuff like that, which I've done. I mean, it's still a skill set that you need to acquire. Designed portions, layouts, I wouldn't say I designed something completely, but obviously you get direction from whoever is leading the project. So maybe I might be working on, a model stuff. You design maybe,
like modeling on Revit or?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, we did a lot of modeling. Also, sometimes depending on your competencies, you get given different kind of tasks. It's never just focused on you're stuck on doing toilets, windows, schedules. I know it was scary when I was told that at one point, but I think it depends on the thing. So maybe if you don't like that, make it take it seriously. Don't just sit back and be passive about it, that you might get a job.
It will depend with the scale of the company. With bigger companies, you should be expecting to do detail, maybe the toilets, maybe doing the schedules, and it's understandable. Let's say it's a 20-story mixed-use residential project. As a student, it's expected you're going to make mistakes, right? It's very important that you put people where they are comfortable. There isn't too much responsibility, so they can be allowed to do those mistakes until they have enough confidence. Because if you're going to involve someone who just completed their degree in the design stage, there you cannot make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you are going to end up with what you see here. You'll show your paper having to drill through a beam, and that is not allowed. Rather you go to small firms, maybe medium small, not small. Yeah, especially if you're coming from vets, because they teach you to be plug and play. I don't know about other varsities; they will speak for themselves. Yeah.
You think there's a similarity between like grades which you have while studying architecture and the ones you have from, let's say, basketball?
I can say nowadays they are lenient.
Really?
They are lenient,
So
yeah.
you feel like there's much harsh studying.
And it's very important that it be harsh. So yeah, if it's that harsh, you would really not find it hard out there when you're being critiqued. Because if, let's say here they were too lenient, and when you get there, someone critique you in the lightest way possible, you might think they are being hard on you. So it's okay that they are harsh on you. Yeah. Actually, I don't think they are harsh. It's because maybe I look at things differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because of the structure of the company which you worked at, they were able to like shuffle you around and you're able to get more experience.
More exposure as well.
Yeah. Then do you think with other practices, like how can someone ask for more experience instead of doing the simpler stuff?
Remember there's also I remember earlier on you asked what's the difference between working and remember with working there's someone's money online, so obviously they can't just give you something because you asked for it. I think you should demonstrate I think you build trust. You can't just come in as a new intern and think that you're gonna be I don't know, designing the entire building or design whatever, because there's someone's money online. So you build trust. You display the competency that you display your competency that you're competent in this one area. You build trust, and eventually maybe you might ask, obviously, and then they start giving you small tasks, and eventually you get to the area that you want to work in. I'm not saying that you should just sit back and hope that maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna start working on this and that, and then hope that they're gonna give you that. Maybe, I don't know, it takes you talking to someone, asking politely and nicely, and also, making sure that you deliver, you show some competence in that area, and honoring the small tasks that they give you to build up to, whatever you want to end up doing.
Okay, let me answer it in this way. If I had a firm that is now hiring students, I would involve them from in my design stage, because what I've noticed about students, they actually have these brilliant ideas, and right now, if you actually are going to put them in that sector of just doing construction drawings, you're teaching them to be careful in their idealization, and that's when now you're losing the authenticity in the application to in the approach to architecture. Rather involve them and listen to what they have to say, and maybe tell them what can work and what cannot, what are the reasons, so they can actually learn to approach it in a different way, as much as they can actually learn how to approach this design. Yeah.
Do you think there's a risk, let's say you work for a large firm, that you might lose your creativity?
You definitely are going to lose your creativity if you're going to detail toilets for 2 years. You understand, 2 years is a lot, and you actually it's like let's say a football player doesn't play for 2 years. You know what to expect, right?
Then how did you apply for the job? Because I remember in one of your older videos you spoke about you went to a place, you got scammed. Yeah, can you explain that?
So that actually happened just after varsity. So you're desperate, you want a job, you're keen for someone to give you a chance, and I found it on the internet, both Indeed and all of those sites, and it was a place in Sandton. Yeah, the job didn't exist. But all of my jobs, I got them through LinkedIn. I feel like that's the most reliable source because you get to see how active the company is there, and you get to also, you can message the employees and whatnot. So yeah, all of my jobs were through LinkedIn.
So did you put like that open to work thing around your profile?
Yeah, I did. But also I used to go on the app and actually search for whatever job that I want, and I would have to apply. If they leave details of the person that's hiring, I would email the person just to show them like I'm interested, I'm really serious. And yeah.
But every time I applied, my portfolio was always different. So because I kept on working on it, and I kept on asking feedback from my seniors, I kept on reaching out. You should still be applying, but you shouldn't stop upgrading your portfolio until you get, yeah.
Till you get a job.
Yeah, I think that's the approach.
Something I find very interesting about what you said is that you only started applying in January.
Yeah, I only started applying in January.
And I've heard people already started October or something.
Yeah,
like that.
by January, I was feeling the pressure because you see on LinkedIn, Spanman, you had already, I just got started working for this firm, whatever, that kind of a thing. But don't let that pressure get to you. But also, like I said, nobody shouldn't wait for the following day. That's a bit risky. I was just lucky. I don't want to lie. I was just lucky. No one should do that. You should start working on it from now on. And I think for the whole of January, I've been cold approaching like firms which were not looking at that time, just hoping that, if they're not looking, my portfolio might be good enough, But yeah, like I said, it's not always the case. There has to be a need. They have to be looking sometimes. Some I got I got feedback that they were not looking. I think others, just rejections, I guess. I think it was one rejection. They were like, because with that one, I know I kind of understand why. I didn't package my portfolio specifically to match the kind of work that they do. So they were more like, residential. And then I had all my student projects, which are more like commercial and all of that. I thought maybe, and I just didn't, package it specifically for them in any way.
So they believe that your portfolio should be like specifically tailored to whatever firm you're applying to?
It should still feel like it's tailored, because imagine, they know that there's 20 people applying, right? Like they know like there's thousands or hundreds of people applying. But if it's tailored to them, it's a bit more personal, I think that makes you stand out a bit more than others, because others is like, dear Spanman, and if I say dear Kongelani, whatever, like it's more, and I'm speaking directly to what you do, that makes you stand out, I think.
And what's the success rate for applying? Because I've heard it's very hard.
It is hard, especially with architecture firms. It's very hard. But just take your chances. I don't know. If you can go there physically, go even and drop off your CV and your portfolio and all of that. But yeah.
The success rate, I can't really tell, because I was lucky, but I just got one opportunity, and with that opportunity, straight in. So I can't really say I have a broader,
So you said Sayota. So Sayota was the only place which like.
Yeah, that was the only interview I got, only work that I went through. I was just lucky. There was a lot of luck. I don't want to lie. I'm not going to sit here and think I was brilliant or anything. There was a lot of luck.
How important is your CV when it comes to that? Like putting experience. Like I know I've volunteered at a few places, like at South African Institute of Architecture.
Yeah, include all of those things. Especially if it's going to be your first job. Include, even if it's something that's not architecture related, include it. Because it does look nice when your CV is a bit busy and they can see how you can hold a job, So include all of those things. It's important. I also included the fact that I was, in my final year, I was mentoring some first year architecture students. I don't know if they still do that.
They still do it.
But yeah, so I had a few mentees and they asked about that. Okay, so what were you focusing on? What were you doing? And I'd tell them that I'd assist with like design and construction, or I would help out during crits or things like that. Like it helps.
So what do you think is important to show in your portfolio?
Portfolio? I think, like I said, sometimes you might need to tailor it to the firm that you want to work for. But I think I don't know, like, because I've please don't send me a portfolio. I'm kidding. No, I've helped a few friends here and there. So I think one thing that I've noticed with some of the people that I've managed to help, like friends, one thing that I've seen is just people don't know how to package their thing. I don't know, like, is it the pressure, the end of year pressure kind of a thing? Because they would be applying the same portfolio over and over again, and then you come, you see the portfolio, and then it's like they treat it as, how they treat it as deliverables. Like, don't treat it like it's a presentation. You just have to you have to check all the boxes for your deliverables. No, you need to, compress it but compress it in such a way that you are not leaving out important information. You're not. Yeah, the contents should still have everything that needs to be in there to explain the project, because it's useless for me to have a portfolio that's just like, Pinterest pictures. I don't understand what's, there should still be some substance, For if you're focused on the skills, let's say like you said, you want to work for Peter Rich, you might need to tailor it for Peter Rich. He has his own way of working. It's, sketches and whatnot, show a little bit of that. But I think what they look for, I think it's because most people, they just put in their stuff. They do not explain. There's no concept. There's no, or if there's a concept, it's just like lots of text and whatnot. Like, when you tailor it, you try to find ways to compress and communicate what you want them to see and get, within seconds. Yeah, because remember, they're going through multiple of portfolios. You want to stand out, so you need to find ways to compress, but also not lose the content. Do you get me? You compress but not lose the content. So the best way is to get around the text is diagrams. People don't want a diagram. Add diagrams, explain things quick. And then, so show different skills. So don't just focus on one skill. I mean, technical drawings are boring. I see people just putting a lot of technical drawings. So as much as because if you put diagrams, it sort of like gives them at least an insight into how you sort of like think, taking a project from concept to, the final stage when it's fully resolved. So if that's why I'm saying concept, and don't just focus on one skill. You might highlight a bit more of that skill that you wanna, but holistically show your thinking process.
Okay, I will say it's best you show your best projects and show it in the best way possible. If things are not resolved, well, there's no point in showing them. Show only your best project in the best way possible. When you are in an interview, there isn't enough time to actually speak things out. Make it easy for someone else to understand. Because maybe you have something like 5 minutes to explain one project, and if it's actually represented in the best way possible, it's going to be easy for someone to understand it without having to ask you a lot of questions. Yes, I can say.
So simplicity.
Yes. Yeah.
How did you arrange your portfolio?
So with my portfolio, I tried to focus on a lot of work projects. So my portfolio is a bit of like an introduction to myself. I just put my CV actually as an introduction. I know a lot of people would put, graphics and a short paragraph to say who they are and whatnot. I just put my CV, then work projects. I wanted to show them that I don't just have university projects to show off, but I also tried to show my technical abilities and my abilities with software. And visually, it needs to be appealing, and someone that doesn't know architecture that much needs to be able to understand it, which is something we're all good at with architecture. I mean, that's what we do. So that part is not that difficult, but I focused mainly on whatever job role I'm applying for, what would they want to see. So yeah.
You know, I always look for something that has worked before. Yeah, like if someone has done it before and has done it the best way they could, I would look at their work and check, okay, what can I take from this and how would this help with the project that I have? Because with me, it's about selling my idea, like making it easy for someone else to understand it. If I'm not there, will they still understand it the same way that I understand it? That's how I get to actually do my portfolios. I focus on maybe like if people watching architects or maybe they are in architecture, like design iteration. Where does it start? Why is it here now?
So you basically started change it.
I can say so. Actually, don't struggle a lot because I can say my projects were sort of channeled in that way from them just being projects before I even started with the portfolio.
So that was part 2. I hope the series has been helpful so far. Click on the video on the left if you want to see part 1 and click on the video on the right if you want to see part 3.